How ironic and how fitting that we were on our way to a retreat and we were standing in a Love's truck stop. I don't know how many couples can say they met at Love's truck stop. Apparently the two of you walked outside, saw the huge red heart on the sign, and knew that it was meant to be. Fast forward about a year to 1 year ago this week, and Jack calls a few of us and invites us to join Jenn on a surprise limo ride to the airport so she can catch a plane and meet him to get engaged. From that day to this, the two of you have grown in your love for one another and in the confidence that God has brought the two of you together with the promise that He knows the plans He has for you. You've expressed a desire to walk through life together, seeking His will for both of you. As you prepare to make your vows to one another, I want to remind you that marriage did not originate in the heart and mind of man, but in the heart and mind of God. God has established His creation in such a way that no human relationship compares to that of husband and wife. In creation, God declared, "It is not good for man to be alone. I will make a helper suitable for him." It was God who brought Eve to Adam after creating her, in effect pronouncing the first marriage union. In the New Testament, husband and wife are said to be joined together by God. Jesus Himself sanctioned marriage by His attendance at the wedding in Cana, where He performed His first public miracle. As a holy covenant made with God, Christian marriage implies a freely chosen, lifelong, exclusive relationship between the husband and wife under the authority of God. A covenant is the most solemn, binding agreement into which two parties can enter. Marriage is not contractual, but rather covenantal. It's important to note the difference between the two. A covenant is based on trust between parties. A contract is based on distrust. A covenant is based on unlimited responsibility. A contract is based on limited liability. A covenant cannot be broken if new circumstances occur. A contract can be voided by mutual consent. Today you will exchange rings. In covenant making in biblical times, the parties exchanged robes as a way of committing everything one had, including oneself and one's possessions, to the other. It signified two becoming one. It was like taking on the identity of or exchanging names with another person. In marriage, we commit ourselves to our marriage partner. We share all of ourselves and all of our possessions without reserve. We also exchange names. Today, you, Jenn, will take on Jack's surname. In covenant making in biblical times, the giving of weapons symbolized the covenantal partner's responsibility to defend the other from his enemies. Covenantal partners were responsible for the protection of each other. In marriage, we assume the responsibility for the well-being of our mate. We pledge to stand by him or her no matter life circumstances. We commit ourselves to his or her protection and defense in adversity. In covenant making in the Old Testament, the giving of the belt was symbolic of the giving of one's strength for the well-being of the other. The belt was the part of the armor that held the weapons. As such, it became the symbol of man's strength. In marriage, we commit our strength to holding up our partner and carrying the weight of our partner's burdens. We pledge always to be there for him or her in unwavering support. In doing so, we provide our mate with a reservoir of strength and confidence, encouragement and trust. In the New Testament, those who follow Jesus are called the bride of Christ, and his love is compared to the love of a groom for his bride, and it's described as selfless and sacrificial. What that means for the two of you is that as followers of Jesus Christ, your relationship to one another is to be a picture to the world around you. In other words, your lives are on display, and you are to model the relationship between Jesus Christ and his followers. Jack, the sacrificial and selfless love of Christ is the kind of love he calls you to have for Jennifer. The Bible defines that kind of love clearly for us, and we read that this is how we know what love is, that Jesus Christ, God's Son, laid down his life for us. That sacrifice, that love, has created a way for us to enter into a relationship with God and to experience the peace and the forgiveness, the hope and the joy and the love that Christ offers to all who will place their faith and trust in Him. I'm thankful that you've both experienced that love, that you are now ready to commit yourselves to loving each other in a way that will bring glory and honor to Christ, and that your desire is to grow closer to one another as you grow closer to Him. Your marriage is starting on a firm foundation. You recognize the importance of going through life not only with one another, but also with Christ to provide you with strength and wisdom and guidance. I believe the focus of a wedding ceremony should always be on the vows. The vows you are about to take are made unto God as well as to each other. By saying to one another as husband and wife, you are saying to God and to each other that you are willing for God to work into your life all the experiences and all the qualities that are essential in becoming the couple God would have you to be. The marital bond is to be one of total commitment, complete faithfulness, and permanence. Established and blessed by God, the marriage covenant is not to be broken. It's to be honored among all people. Jack and Jennifer, today you cleave to the spouse God has given you. Together you will experience the strongest of human bonds, the covenant of marriage. Since the two of you desire to be united in the bonds of Christian matrimony, as you face one another, will you join both hands, remembering that the closer you keep Christ in the center of your life, the greater your love will be for the other. Jack, in taking Jennifer to be your lawful and wedded wife, before God and these witnesses present, you must promise to love her, to honor and cherish her, and leaving all others to cleave only to her, and to be to her in all things the true and faithful husband, so long as you both shall live. Do you so promise? Jennifer, in taking Jack to be your lawful and wedded husband, before God and these witnesses present, you must promise to love him, to honor and cherish him, and leaving all others to cleave only to him, and to be to him in all things the true and faithful wife, so long as you both shall live. Do you so promise?
I
do. In your relationship, the rings you are about to exchange symbolize your commitment to honoring the terms of the marriage covenant. The rings you have selected for each other are a sign and a seal of your vows, and a reminder of the covenant you are making to one another. Jack, if you'll place the wedding ring on the finger of your bride and repeat these words that you have chosen after me. Jennifer, I give you this ring as a symbol of my vows.
Jennifer, I give you this ring as a symbol of my vows.
From this moment on, I belong to you and God alone.
From this moment on, I belong to you and God alone.
You are God's greatest gift to me.
You are God's greatest gift to me.
My best friend and today my wife.
My best friend and today.
In every trial and temptation that will come,
Every trial and temptation that will come,
I promise to honor you with all that I am
I promise to honor you
and all that I have.
and all that I have.
I love you. Now, Jen, if you'll place the ring that you've chosen on Jack's finger and repeat these words that you have chosen after me. Jack, I give this ring as a symbol of my vows. From this moment on, I belong to you and God alone. You are God's greatest gift to me. My best friend and today my husband. In every trial and temptation that will come, I promise to honor you with all that I am and all that I have. I love you. It's been a joy and an honor for all of us to share these moments with the two of you. From a personal standpoint, it's not often that one gets the opportunity to be with a couple on the day they meet, the day they are engaged, and then to stand before them on the day they are married.